I wanted to make a Halloween thrift haul, but I didn't really pick up very much stuff. And I've been looking in the last few weeks, and um, I'm showing you basically what I got. But I think what's most interesting is that I picked up a pretty nice Halloween or horror VHS, a bunch of VHSs at one Goodwill. So garage sales have kind of been few and far between for me. I would be doing a lot better at them if I actually woke up like early on time, but I haven't. So instead, thrift stores have been. I still love thrift stores. Some people say, Goodwill's overpriced or whatever, but I tend to do pretty well at them actually. So, and I did make a couple of hauls with like costumes, and I made a VHS haul already, and neither of those turned out very well. They like the video I made with the GoPro, I had my hands on it instead of it being on a stick, and I kept accidentally rubbing like the microphone. So I'm actually trying this video on my laptop, and I'm hoping the battery ends up lasting. If not, I'll just grab the cord and plug that in really quickly. So without further ado, and by the way, I have a Nick box coming, and it is actually a Halloween Nick box, which I'm really excited about. I did see one spoiler for it. Unfortunately, Nick box tends to sell those things, or they tend to send them like last minute. Like the summer one I just got. I didn't do an unboxing because it was just taking too long, and I wanted to get a couple things out of it, and so I just opened it. But I do want to do an unboxing of the Halloween one because Halloween is my favorite. So yay. Okay, so I'm gonna start with a couple of thrift finds. I haven't been to really many garage sales, or I haven't seen anything at them. I have been to a couple of estate sales, but the only thing I'm seeing that's Halloween is like new stuff. And I like the vintage. So anyway, here's the first thing. I found this at a Goodwill, and it says thinking of you. It's just a little kitten with pumpkins, and on the back it says, everything's backwards for me, wishing you every wonderful thing that a happy Halloween could bring, and you can treat all your favorite goblins to a Halloween card. Family and friends, neighbors, clubmates, classmates, coworkers, secret pals. So that's a lot of fun. The other thing I got, which I was so excited when I saw this, actually, I haven't been to this one thrift store that's just huge. I haven't been there in like a year. And last time I went there, they had been affected by the flood. We had a bad flood here in Baton Rouge and Denham Springs, and anyway, my area. And this thrift store was very, very badly affected, and they were a pretty good thrift store. It's a lot of like just junk everywhere, but they lost pretty much everything. So when they came back, they didn't have as much stuff, and it took them a while to build up, but now they're built up actually quite a bit again. So I even though I didn't find a bunch of Halloween there, I looked down in this box full of like glass stuff, and I was like, ooh, what are these plates? It was like upside down like this. I was like, huh, what's that? Because one of my favorite things to pick up is party supplies. Love picking up party supplies. And I turned it over, and it was Goosebumps! I was so excited. Sorry, everything's kind of white. All I have is really this window that's and like it's like 4 o'clock and very overcast. But anyway, it says, "You can't scare me," and you are not. This camera's not going to be able to pick this up, but okay, right here it says, 1995 Parachute Press. So, I put these up on eBay. Obviously haven't sold yet. I've only had them up maybe a week. And I have, like, I think a watcher on them. And they're actually, as of right now, they're the only paper plates, Goosebumps paper plates on eBay for sale, which is good. And unfortunately, these are like the smaller ones. I wish they were the bigger ones. And by the way, if you ever pick up anything Goosebumps and it has this same skeleton, his name is Curly. So, yeah. Yay! I love finding Goosebumps things. Those are my favorite things. And they always sell really well. They were some of my favorite books growing up. Like, I literally bought Goosebumps from when they came out. Like, I'm really old, I know. But yeah, when they came out in like 1991, the first, like, Welcome to Dead House, that's when I started reading them. And then I went on from there, and I just picked them up every week that well, probably every month that they came out. Whenever they came out, I would pick it up immediately. Anyway, this VHS haul, I'm going to go from the, I guess, least rare to maybe more rare. None of these are, like, crazy, like, super grails, okay? I'm going to warn you. And I don't think any of them are, like, crazy, high price anyway. Anyway, they just don't go for a whole lot on eBay. I consider some of them fairly rare because I don't see them a lot. Somebody else, if you live in, like, Minnesota, you may see this all the time. I don't know. But I'm going to start with 13 Ghosts. And I'd actually really like to see this again. It was an interesting movie, if not perfect. And this one, I think they all have this, though, the bonus footage of, like, the actors dressing up as ghosts and stuff. So, yeah. And my little brother, who was, like, 11 years... If you hear some noises, my husband just got home. My little brother used to watch this over and over and over. That's what it looks like, the actual VHS. Alright, next one is, I'm sure everyone will recognize this, Blair Witch. That's what the VHS looks like. Am I holding it backwards? Yeah. Okay, so I saw this in theaters. I was super excited about it coming out. I did find it scary. I was like a teenager. I'm pretty sure I was like around 18. When did this come out? 1999. So I must have been more like 16, I guess. I just aged myself, I guess. Yeah, I thought it was really scary. A lot of people were like, no, it's not scary. But I think the theater experience kind of helped it out there. Anyway, again, now I am lotting these up to resell, because if I just sold this, it would sell for like $1. It's not really worth anything on its own, but together, that's why I tend to pick up, even if it's not anything rare, you can sell lots of horror movies, and they do a little bit better. Next one is Warlock 3. I have never seen any of the Warlock movies. I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb and say they're not very good. But I don't know. There's a naked woman on the back. This one, it's actually from Blockbuster. That's interesting. But there's no, like, Blockbuster, no classic Blockbuster, like, stickers or anything. Something about, I don't really... The warlock wants to find his eternal bride of darkness, but his plan failed and he was banished until now. And then some girl wants to find out about her family, so she brings her college friends to a 16th century mansion that was left to Chris as an inheritance. That would be a really, really fun inheritance, even if you got to deal with the warlock. So I don't think this is very rare, and it looks just terrible. There's actually a girl in the back doing a seance or something with a bunch of candles. Anyway, I would watch it just for fun, but I'm pretty sure it's not any good. Speaking of not good, this is called Bog Creatures, and I've also not seen this one. Tagline is, after 1,200 years, they're back. And I did look up Amazon reviews, and everyone is saying just how terrible this is. I don't doubt them. Interestingly enough, there's a Hollywood video. I see a lot more Blockbuster stickers than Hollywood. So yeah, this is rated R, and this is about a group of college students are engaged in an archaeological dig in order to recover the remains of the legendary medieval bog people, the undead army of an evil berserker priestess. Buried hundreds of years ago in a mystical swamp whose waters are said to have magical powers of preservation, these ancient, vicious warriors are out to enslave the world in a nightmare too horrible to imagine. One by one, the students disappear, becoming victims of the evil rituals of this unearthed army of mutants. So you can't really, there's some scenes at the bottom, but you can't really see much from there. This is from 2003, so kind of the dying age of VHS. You see this a lot more on DVD, at least when I, looked and made sure this wasn't worth like a ton. It's not. I mean, it's not like, super, like I don't see it all the time, which is why I picked it up, but I don't think anyone cares about Bog Creatures. But there is the VHS label. Next is, okay, I got like 3 classic ones. And, oh, by the way, when I was at Goodwill finding these, the Goodwill employee had like a buggy of just tons of VHS that she was putting up. This Goodwill in particular tends to, they are by a college. So I think a lot of college students like dump their stuff there. I don't know why college students would have tons of VHS, but I think just like it's also by like a nice area and people just dump all their stuff. So more so than other Goodwills that I see around here. Anyway, so yeah, she was putting up VHS, and I had saw a few of the VHS in there like that were horror, and I just asked her like, "Hey, can I pick those out?" And she was like, "Sure." It's like less work for her to do. So this is The Omen. This is a really good movie. Basically, this guy, his wife, their baby dies. And somehow he finds out that he can go, like, get a baby from someone. And the baby is basically, like, the son of Satan. It's kind of like Rosemary Baby grows up. And he does bad things to, like, the nanny. And there's a lot of classic scenes. But, yeah, if you get a chance to watch this, it's pretty good. Gregory Peck, Lee Remick. So, yeah. Here's one I've never heard of in my life, but it's called The Gorgon, and it kind of has a Greek theme going on. This looks like Medusa. Something about this, like, it's a very long paragraph. Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee star in a chilling tale. Something about people keep turning to stone, and they're trying to figure out the mystery of why these people keep doing this. I do want to see this because like I said, I've never heard of it. Here is the VHS part, and this is from, well, the VHS packaging is from '88, but the original is 1964, and it's a Hammer film. Every time I see this one, I think of the Rocky Horror song, because they reference this movie and Michael Rennie. So, I've never seen this. I need to watch it because it's a classic. And aliens invade the Earth, if you're not aware. It's kind of like, if you love film, you want to watch this movie, because it's just, yeah. Okay, we're starting to get to the more rare ones. Nightmare on Elm Street 2. Now, I'm not saying this is crazy rare, but what's interesting about it and what VHS collectors like, if you're interested in, like, trying to pick up VHS or know what people want with VHS, look for media. And the VHSs for media always have, like, this great old school look. My webcam isn't, like, super detailed, unfortunately. But, yeah. And I don't think I've ever seen this. I saw some Nightmare on Elm Streets when I was, like, a kid or a teenager or whatever. And I cannot remember, like, any specific scenes from any of them. This is just one of those, like, classic movie, killer movies that I'm just like, what actually happened in them? Just don't remember. This is from 1985, the original 1985 release. So that's actually a really, really cool one. This is also a really neat one that I want to see, The House on Sorority Row. And this one is about a bunch of girls who go to, or who live in a sorority house. Someone uncovers a horrible secret in the attic. Bone-chilling suspense illustrating the dangers of tampering with Mother Nature. And here is a picture of all the girls. If you can see it, there's a girl wearing a CBGB shirt right there, like a vintage cool one. And I thought that was neat. All the girls are in lingerie except for the cool girl here, I guess. And yeah, this is a repackaging. This is 1990. The original one, it doesn't actually say, but I want to say it's from the early, maybe 84, 82, 84, something like that. And it says nudity and adult language on the back. So when I saw that, I knew it was something good. Okay, I'm calling this rare because I just don't see it a lot. I don't see this, or it's, this is a sequel to House of a Thousand Corpses, a movie I don't really like that well. I do really like this movie, though. I thought it was, a lot of fun. It's not scary. It's more like gross out stuff. And honestly, I don't remember a lot of the gross out stuff. I just do remember it being just a fun time. But, you know, a lot of people would say that's debatable, and Rob Zombie's movies are always like, oh, you love it, you hate it, or you get it, or you don't. So when people say I don't like Rob Zombie movies, like, I totally get it. I don't love all of them. Like, I haven't even seen the Halloween ones that he did, but I saw a few clips and I was like, oh yeah, those look like Rob Zombie movies. So yeah, this is from 2005, again, ending the reign of VHS around this time. I'm sure there was a DVD release. I know there was. There was a DVD release and a VHS for some reason. So yeah, this is kind of late on the VHS scale. But if you like horror, I would give it a chance. Okay. This is one that I do not see very often, and it's actually kind of a heavier tape. Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me. Here's the VHS. This is the original release of it. Trying to get it to focus. But anyway, it's from 1992, New Line Cinema. And if you ever get a chance to watch this, definitely do it. Even if you haven't seen the show, I watched it twice when I knew nothing about the show, and I really liked it. You're not going to understand who all the characters are, but I think it still stands alone. If you watch the show, you're going to be really, probably a little bit too familiar with all the characters. So it's probably better to watch the show, but if you haven't, like, that's okay. I thought this movie was really, like, dark and very, just very different. And I like David Lynch a lot too. I haven't seen everything by him, but everything that I have seen, I like his style. Like, he has a certain, like, you can, if you see any of his movies, like, there's just a way that he films it that I think is really cool. This is all about a girl named Laura Palmer who died. This is actually interesting though because it's about her life and like her final days or whatever. Very interesting watch. And Chris Isaac is in it. Unfortunately, he's not in it for that long, but yeah. If you haven't seen this, highly recommend. Let's see. And then, last but not least, is Televoid. This, I cannot figure out what this is. Okay, I have a friend who says that he watched this, and he's like, it's like a music video with no music, but it says there's music on here. I don't know what that means. It's only 60 minutes. And what I might do for this is, after I actually watch it, because it's not on YouTube, I might send it into, like, either Found Footage Festival, their show, or Red Letter Media, and see if it ends up on either of those shows. Because it features Sir Mix-a-Lot, and it's music by Scott Rockenfield and Paul Spears. So there's got to be music, right? But my friend said... and it's a lot of weird computer graphics. I don't know if you can really see that, but it's like really cheesy computer graphics. So, no idea what's going on with this Televoid. Maybe it's like some philosophical thing on television. I don't know. This is from 1998, though. But yeah, I will give this a watch and probably not sell it. I'm going to send it into a show and see if it ends up there. And that's all for the haul. I am going to continue to pick up Halloween stuff throughout the year, and I'm just eventually going to show like I've just been picking up things here and there, and picking up just the stuff I usually sell for reselling, and eventually I want to put out a haul. And so next week I think I'm getting the Nick box on like Tuesday, and I think did I already say it's a Halloween Nick box, and it's gonna come in a box that looks like a haunted house, and probably everything in it will be like All Real Monsters or Are You Afraid of the Dark? And that's totally fine with me. So I'm kind of excited about that, and I will try to do that for you next week. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye.